Hi, I'm George, TSG's Open Content Product Manager. In this short demo, I'm going to show a very high-level interface comparison of Alfresco Share as compared to Open Content Management Suite. So I'm just going to go ahead and log into Share, and we're going to briefly discuss three areas: search, adding documents, and working with documents in a folder. Now keep in mind, we're going to have future videos that'll dive into each area in more detail, but for now, we'll just do a quick overview. So we're going to start with search, and there's a very easy to find kind of quick search up here where I can just start typing. This does have sort of a predictive search here that pops up as I type, which is nice. But we've seen the need to kind of disable this at a few clients due to memory and performance concerns. So just something to keep in mind. But if I go ahead and just run this search, it's going to search for that term, in this case TSG, across the entire repository in all doc types. It's just kind of a blanket search. So I get my results. I can see some thumbnails for documents in this sort of list view, and I have this faceting over here where I can filter down the results. And then over here, I can change the sort. So it'll sort by relevance by default. Or I could go to for a change for a detailed view to more of a gallery style view. Now, Share does also have an advanced search that you can get to by using this magnifying glass drop down here. And this search is, it's a you call it advanced search, but there's not really any additional features here to filter down based on a certain doc type or custom metadata. All that kind of stuff is possible in Share, but requires some XML coding configurations, customizations to get that to work. So now I'm going to flip over to Open Content Management Suite and go ahead and log in to the same Alfresco repository. And I'm going to head over to search. And right away, you'll see that our search is very driven based on types and metadata. So here I can choose to say I want to look for controlled documents with a certain document number. I'll just do that same TSG search. And we default to more of a table view of the results, which gives the administrator the ability to show custom metadata. You can set up a sort. In this case, it's sorting on document number, but I can just click any of these columns to sort the table. And we do have faceting available as well that the administrator can set up certain fields that are faceted on, and the user can very easily filter results by just typing in the box up here. And we can also change types very easily. So I can come over here and say I want to search for, say, claim documents in this example, and maybe search on a certain claim number and get results back. And I can see my criteria with the results. So if I need to go ahead and change that, I can do that very easily. And we also have, similar to Share, this sort of listing of documents, although ours is in a table. And then we also have the ability to show thumbnails for content as well. So now I'm going to flip back to Share to show how users can add documents in Alfresco. So here I am in a folder, doesn't have any documents in it, and I'm just going to go ahead and take a single document and just drag and drop. And it just right away adds it to the folder and puts it in the repository. So at first it seems really slick, but when we start to think about what our clients are requiring, what about what type this document is, and is there any required metadata that the user has to set? With the way Share is today, the user doesn't really get to set the type. You can create rules to specialize a type, but even in that case, the user would have to know to come over to edit the properties and set potentially some required metadata on the document. So specifically around working with documents in the folder, as we add more documents here, this list can just grow. The user can sort the list here based on some common fields. Again, it would take a customization for this to be any non out of the box attributes. And there's some options here for this is the detailed view, but you can also show a table view of the documents. Although this is fairly limited, again, with the custom attributes, and the sorting does not work for clicking on these column headers here. This concept here, the document actions, is a little bit confusing too. It actually looks better in the detailed view where I can, if you hover over a row, you can see these kind of pop up. But some of them are kind of buried in the list here, which again, once you have multiple documents, it can get confusing for users of where they actually execute document actions. And also when we talk about actions here for the folder, if I want to do anything else to the folder, like view the properties of it or whatever else, I can't just do that from here. I have to actually navigate up to this top level, then find the folder, then execute these types of actions over here. So switching to actually viewing this document, I'll go ahead and do that. And this kind of takes over the entire page. So I get a preview of the document here, which is nice. And then I have some actions over here as well. Maybe look at some of the properties, although editing the properties does take up the entire screen. But this is great for viewing this document. But again, if I have multiple documents in the folder and I want to view multiple documents, I have to each time just flip back to the folder and then click on the next document. So now I'm going to switch to Open Content Management Suite, and here, same sort of example, we're in an empty folder, and we have some actions on the folder here. So I'm going to go ahead and say I want to add documents, and we have a lot of different options configured here. We can scan, we can upload from Gmail or Box, but I'm just going to do the same example of take this policy contract PDF, drag it in. And the first thing we're going to see here is that the user is presented with a preview of the document that they're uploading. And this is configured to choose a certain document type, but if there were multiple configured, the user could choose what type this document is. And then also there's a required tag here that, I can't upload this document until I set this tag. So I'm going to go ahead and set it. And then now we're sure from a governance side that these documents all have the correct metadata populated upon import. So I'll go ahead and finish that, and we can see that the contract has been uploaded. And we can also see a listing of the documents split out by tag here, so I can go ahead and view it. And I get a preview of the document. Any configured document action just appears up above here. So for example, viewing and editing properties can be done in this side-by-side mode. Anything else along with check in, check out, notifications, all that kind of good stuff. So down here, we could click on other documents if they appeared in the folder very quickly. And we can also use this icon to view documents in a side-by-side mode, so I can even view two at a time. So another way to get to multiple documents within the folder is our View All Documents module, which multiple documents would appear here. And this may look very similar because it's the same module that we use for search. So all of those features with, reordering columns or clicking on a column to sort, the facets and filtering are all done the same way as in search. So all of those features are available here. And just like in Share, we can click on this icon to get a thumbnail view of any documents in the folder. So the other thing to note here too is that this is kind of more of a case management type view where I can be working with documents within the folder, but I can also work with the folder itself. So rather than needing to change my context or do another search or get to another level of the repository, I can do things like view the properties of the policy folder in this case right from here without switching where I am in this view. Well, that's it for this short overview demo. Thanks for watching. Be sure to stay tuned to the TSG blog in the coming weeks. We'll be diving into these areas in more detail to compare Share with Open Content Management Suite.